Hope, an introductory chapter to a 30-chapter journey exploring the gift of biblical hope. I'm Kevin de Beer, Minister of Word and Sacrament at Bells Hill Central Parish Church. And in the year 2019, having explored the gift of faith in 2018, we turn our attention to the gift, challenges, and invitation of hope. I'm hoping to explore some biblical stories. In fact, subdividing 6 what I call big biblical stories into smaller chapters, bite-sized portions that hopefully will inspire and invigorate us in a world that so often is tempted to be without hope or even hopeless. There's one remarkable gift of being human amongst others, and that is the gift of telling stories, of hearing stories, of participating in stories, of allowing stories to shape our imagination, our behavior, our values, our morals, and indeed our vision of what life might look like. The Bible is no different. There are many and varied stories throughout this remarkable library that indicates God's presence at work in the world. I've chosen 6 of these stories. I'm not going to say that it is a definitive guide, but I'm hoping that it proves a helpful one. If you are wanting the fuller detail, especially the notes, find it in the book that is First Steps, Invitations to Faith, Hope and Love, available in both print and Kindle format on Amazon. And so this is a brief introduction to the journey, a reminder that there are invitations in the biblical narrative and record to participate in the stories of creation, of liberation, of renewed imagination, stories of oppression and overcoming, stories of joy and stories of sadness. I'm not going to do full justice to the Bible, but I'm hoping that in some ways at least, you are invited to consider the possibility of picking up the Bible yourself, reading and engaging the stories. Stories about heroes and villains, stories about Jesus and his disciples, stories about the continued response of people to God's action at work in their lives, in their communities, and in their world. In the Christian hope and dream, there is a very real sense in which we believe the stories are still being told. Our stories, limited, fragile as they prove to be, are valuable, are gifts. And indeed, as we add our voice to the rather remarkable biblical drama, we find ourselves being caught up in a dream that is larger than who we are as isolated individuals and even as isolated communities. We are part of a worldwide family that has been inspired by the remarkable possibility that God is still involved in, engaged with, and active in the world. Isaiah, the great prophet, recognized this in one remarkable verse, Isaiah 40, verse 31. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, who is still active in the world, inspire within us hope, hope renewed, hope invigorated, hope imagined in new and fresh ways. May this year be an opportunity for us to journey in biblical hope. Amen.